Hello, lovely people of the internet. So the other day, my friend gave me a cactus. See, it's all like prickly and stuff. It's fun to poke. But yeah, she gave me a cactus, and I decided to name it Lola. So Lola's living in my room right now. It's not very sunny out. I hope that's okay. But yeah, cactus fun. Oh, and also, I've changed the angle of my camera, so if you like it better this way, let me know, and I'll keep it this way. If not, I'll put it back to where it was. I just kind of like raised it up a little bit, so it's not like looking up as much, and I think that looks better. So yeah. So if any of you have read the title of this video, you would see that I can't spell. Well, very often, I'm sure as you've gone through the internet, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Reddit, wherever, you will see people called grammar Nazis. And what they like to do is anytime you misspell anything or make any grammar error, they like to correct you. This will include misspelling anything. And, well, it can be very annoying because, yes, sometimes people are just doing it to be stupid or just are too lazy to use proper grammar, but other times people actually cannot help it and they just cannot spell. There's actually a thing, and it's called disgraphia. And basically, disgraphia is a learning disability that is similar to dyslexia, except instead of words rearranging and letters flipping and everything and not being able to read, it affects your ability to write. Sometimes you'll write too big or too small, or in a lot of cases, it'll be that you cannot spell. Now, I don't know if I actually have dysgraphia because I've never been diagnosed, but basically I have a lot of symptoms of dysgraphia, including my ability not to spell. And some of the words that I would spell wrong, I get really creative with ways to spell it. I spelled the word went, W-H-E-N-T, until 7th grade. Finally, I got it. Now I can spell it correctly, W-E-N-T, but it took me forever. Because my not being able to spell is really random. I will spell the same word once correctly in a paragraph and then incorrectly a second time in the same paragraph. Or when I look at a word, I can tell you if it's misspelled, but I can't tell you how to spell it correctly. Another thing is that no matter how many times I look at a word spelled correctly, I will still not be able to spell it right. When I was a little kid, I've had this problem since I was really little, there were spelling tests in school, and I would take these spelling tests, and I'd study the words, and I'd still spell them wrong. And there are still some words that no matter how hard I try, I just cannot get them right. An example is the word schedule. I will spell schedule, the first part I'll spell correctly, S-C-H-E-D, but then the second part I will always spell no matter how many times I tell myself I'm spelling it wrong, I will spell the end of it U-A-L. So I'll spell it S-C-H-E-D-U-A-L, schedule, instead of schedule. And, or a word like different, I'll spell that wrong, or differently, anything that ends in L-Y, I'm not sure where to put the E. And then, of course, there's the added problem that as a kid, I grew up reading English literature, including Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. So I'll spell realized with an S, and favorite, sometimes I'll spell wrong, and stuff like that. So that just adds to the whole confusion. And as you can probably imagine, this definitely did not help me throughout grammar school, especially in cases like this.
All right, boys and girls. Time for you to stop what you're doing and gather around here. It's time for
the spelling bee.
So then all of us would go and sit on top of our desks, and the teacher would go around asking all of us to spell different words. And, you guessed it, I was always the first one out. Now let's see, who's next? Ah yes, Emma! Yes? Your word is museum. Okay, museum. M-E-U-Z-U-M-E? Museum? No, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Time for you to
get off your desk and sit back down while you watch everybody else do well.
And then I would have to go and sit back down in my chair all by myself and watch everybody else sit up there and feel really lonely until somebody else would get out. And of course, not being able to spell hasn't escaped me. I'm in high school now, and I still can't spell. And can I tell you, it sucks. 'Cause you know you're a bad speller when your former chemistry teacher, not your English teacher, your chemistry teacher, looks at all of the misspelled words on your test and corrects them, but then doesn't take points off, just corrects them. Yeah, that sure made me feel really good. So all that I can say now is thank God for autocorrect. It has saved me so many, many, many times. Except, of course, when you spell something so wrong that it doesn't recognize it, or that there'll be another word that's similar in spelling to it except will mean something different. An example is that once a few years ago, I was writing a short story for, I think, just my own fun. I don't think it was for an assignment or anything. And I was trying to spell the word obsessed, except I spelled the word abscessed. And I spelled the word abscessed 10 different times throughout the story, and I didn't notice until I asked somebody to peer edit it. And yeah, they made a lot of fun of me. But it's okay, because it was a friend, so I was okay with it, but I still was really embarrassed. So I hope that I have helped you to realize that just because somebody can't spell doesn't mean that they're stupid. It just means that they might have a learning disability, like disgraphia, or some other thing preventing them from being able to spell. And if you ever run into somebody that can't spell, don't make fun of them. Help them out. If you're texting somebody and they spell a word really weirdly, don't point it out and be like, hey, you spelled the word wrong, So yeah, next time you're on the internet and you see something misspelled, don't necessarily, you can correct it, but don't necessarily be a bitch about it, because for all you know, they could have disgraphia and they can't help it, unless you see something like this. Because then you know that they're just being stupid, and I give you full permission to go all grammar Nazi on their ass. So I hope you all liked this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any fun or awkward or just interesting spelling stories that you want to share, leave them down in the comments, and we can have conversations about that. Also, if you want to stay up to date on all future videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and also, I have recently gotten a Twitter. So make sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/EmmaMakesCake, and there you can ask me questions, we can chat, and you can stay up to date on everything I'm doing on my daily life. So yeah, until next time, bye!